Hello everyone, MarcusWolfe here, welcoming you all back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. I almost said the wrong game. The game that I just finished playing a couple weeks ago. Anyway, last we left off, just a basic introduction of as all games are. We're now playing as Mia Fey on her second trial, and Phoenix himself is currently being accused of murder. Let's see how it's gonna go. Well, the truth is, I went because Doug, he called me there. And had you ever met the victim before? No, never! But, well, that day, he called me up and said he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person, is it Dolly Parton by chance? No, well, it's, kind of embarrassing, really, but Dolly's my sweetheart. What was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Dolly Hawthorne was the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see. Well, he was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet up at 245 behind that building. And was it Mr. Swallow who suggested you meet at 245? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist? I see. Hey, I gotta admit though, it was a little suspicious. I mean, he had a whole laboratory to himself and everything. Whoa. Please go away. Why did the settings come up? Oh, because my mouse moved. When did my mouse move? Okay, whatever. I mean, it was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Well, this sounds quite fascinating. Must be quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details? Well, he did mention things that use a lot of electricity, so I can't help but wonder, is that how he got electrocuted? The downed wire? Was it for the pharmacology department? Well, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about the pharmacology department, Mr. Wright. Okay, sure. I mean, I don't know much about it. Well, a little bit early in your testimony, I recall you saying something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Yeah, that's right. And boy, do they look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high voltage cables just everywhere. High voltage cables? Yeah, I mean, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead all around the building's roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. We talked for a bit, and around 3 we split up. So, what was it that you two were talking about? Oh, you know, that maybe we should hang out again sometime. Hang out again sometime? Ugh, I wish that were true. And then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. So, when you say you went back, yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you even go back in the first place? I thought you were angry with him. Well, yeah, I was. Then why, Mr. Wright? Why go back? Well, I thought that maybe we could make up. Just like speaking with a child. I thought we could kiss and make up, so I just went back and not expecting to be punched in the face. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this excuse. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 or 3 days. Well, it's rather unusual to be catching a cold around this time, isn't it? Yeah, well, I always get a little careless when the weather starts warming up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know you were taking that particular cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew of it. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. So, let me get this straight. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. Well, I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Her homemade lunches are the greatest. Her mini omelets, oh, they're magically delicious. Oh.
Ow! Why did you punch me in the jaw?
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Mia is very violent.
I think that's enough for now. So, all said and done, the defendant and victim met approximately around the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for an unknown reason.
I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle.
Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted.
What do you mean it can't be trusted? Oh, I knew it was too much work for a little girl.
However, there is one mystery that still remains.
There is, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Payne. How was the murder carried out? Just how exactly was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet. Am I right?
Well, that is, you are most correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I can just somehow establish the way it was done, maybe I can still come out of this mess smelling like a pile of roses. I'm surprised that Mr. Payne did not figure it out. I mean, it's in the picture. There's a downed electrical wire. Bzzz. Like, honestly, people, is everyone blind here in this court except me? Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Fay?
I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of exactly how Mr. Swallow died.
Well, that would be quite impressive.
Quite a brash statement coming from a young rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the courtroom, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with cold, hard evidence. Of course I knew that. Yeah, actually, I kinda totally forgot about that.
Now then, Miss Fay, let us see what you've got. Show the court evidence on what you believe caused the victim's electrocution.
Again, where is it? Is it this one? Yes, hello? Downed wire that's clearly still sparking at the time this photo was taken? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Hell, it doesn't take a pharmacology student to figure it out. God. People, you're crazy. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture exemplifies it quite well.
What? But there's nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Fay, just where exactly in this photo are you saying the murder weapon is?
Right here. Can I double-click? I can double-click, okay. Well, naturally, right here.
What? I'm sorry, but what is that?
A severed electrical cable, Your Honor. Do you remember the testimony we've just heard? That the machines around the pharmacology department require high voltage? And because of that, there are very special high voltage cables strung up around the building.
Oh, so then you're saying that the high voltage cable...
Yes, exactly. The high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
Well, that does sound very plausible. Mr. Payne, what is your premise about this?
Well, I do believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, no need for names. I'll admit that the victim's cause of death may indeed have been caused by a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what exactly that implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use that cable as a weapon was the defendant right here, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
That is kind of true, unfortunately. That is certainly true.
Yes, and that's not all. We, as the prosecution, have proof. Irrefutable evidence that will establish Mr. Wright as the murderer.
You do, Mr. Payne. What is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean the ones that were found on the medicine bottle?
Not quite. Let's take another look at the crime scene photo, if you will. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket. And as you may well know, leather holds fingerprints rather well. You don't mean... Yes, I do. It's quite clearly imprinted on the chest on the victim's jacket. The palm print is the defendant's very own hand.
What?
I can only think of one way for Mr. Wright's prints to have been left there. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable.
Order, order, order! That's enough! I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Oh, stick of hawkiness, we're done.
Mr. Grossberg?
Oh, my hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I laid eyes on him.
No, you're wrong, sir. Mr. Wright is innocent.
I believe no further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor...
At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case. Do you have anything further to add, Miss Fay?
I do, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, is this what you want? You still haven't told us the truth. The whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. Against you. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Fay, no matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you. And because of that, I'll represent you to the very end. Oh, Miss Fay, we've already established the defendant's guilt. There's no further need for deliberation. No need for him to say anything further. Wait a minute! Mr. Wright. Okay, I'll tell you what really happened. But I've already told you, Mr. Wright. There's no need for further... I did it. I admit it. I pushed Doug Swallow. It's my fault. My fault that he's dead. That girl. Shouldn't be seeing her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business, dude.
I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's bad news.
You're lying.
Look, just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl.
Just stop it! Don't you dare talk about her like that!
And it's because he pushed him that the electrical wire snapped. What you just said, Mr. Wright, is that the truth?
Yes. I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think that I was the murderer for sure.
Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. Your testimony did nothing to help you.
But please, just give me one more chance to explain myself. This time, I swear to tell everyone the whole truth. It'll be okay. Won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Wright. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim.
Oh, feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake.
Could you please stop talking about your hemorrhoids, please? Come on. Please stop talking about your goddamn hemorrhoids. I don't care. Okay, yep. I'm just going to accept that the screen on my laptop is going to do the black screen thing whenever I record. I don't know why. Is it the game? Is it the recording? But it doesn't seem to reflect in the video, so at least there's that. Shrug. When I pushed the victim. That guy. He was talking bad about Dolly. I admit I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. And a little bit after I left, I started to get worried. So that's why I went back, but he was just lying there. Dead. Well, that explanation really is quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the severed electrical cable. Therefore, he died from the shock. And that, as they say, is that.
A very simple explanation indeed.
At the time of the incident, a light rain was falling. Wet from that rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, even I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss something that obvious.
Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your next cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I will be delivering my verdict without further delay. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, then there must be some evidence somewhere to prove it. Well, it's time to do the good old search. That guy. He was talking bad about Dolly. So, what kind of things was he saying to you? All sorts of terrible things. Things like that she was a bad girl.
And is that all, Mr. Wright?
Yeah.
Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself.
Oh, boy. You're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I just lost my temper and gave him a shove. Oh, I did not mean to do that. There we go. And can you tell me a bit more about what happened? Well, that guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on his leather jacket and was about to leave. That's when I lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And when you did that, were there any severed cables nearby? No, there was nothing like that at all. But is it possible that you simply overlooked it? Well, I guess it is possible. What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Don't let that guy just steamroll you into the ground like cheap asphalt!
Well, I believe what's important here is the moment this shove occurred. Let us continue on with the testimony, witness.
At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A loud noise? What would you say that noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm honestly not sure, but it was really loud. It was like, snap! You know, come to think of it, I do wonder what that was. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to be deciding that, Prosecutor Payne. What should I do? I'm treading on some very dangerous ground here. Well, I need to know more about that moment, that's for sure. Mr. Wright, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So, please, try to remember exactly what that was. How do I put it? It was kind of like a sharp crack. I mean, it could have been... Yes, it could have been. Please, tell us. Well, when I pushed him, he did drop the umbrella he was holding. He fell right on top of it, and it broke. That probably was the noise that I heard.
An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim?
Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella. Kinda cheap and frail, just like its owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was soaked to the bone.
Miss Faye, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now?
Well... He heard a snap the moment he pushed the victim. And he's saying that Doug landed on the umbrella, causing it to break. I do remember an umbrella in the photo. Oh! You just said that Doug landed on the umbrella. And if we are going to continue with that line of thought and say he also got electrocuted at the same time, he should be on top of his umbrella. Why is he not on top of it now? Is that where they're going with this? This is it, Mia. The new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important, Your Honor. No, it's more than that. This cheap umbrella is vital information. I want it officially added into the testimony. How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer.
The court agrees with the defendant's request. Witness, please amend your testimony with the cheap umbrella.
Well, after I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. So, Mr. Swallow fell on top of it. Are you sure? Yeah, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was kind of planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see, I was just wearing this sweater. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. And I didn't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love.
Oof! Oh, my stomach is not to be used as your personal soccer ball, Mia!
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir.
Please, continue on with your testimony, witness.
There is no need to continue. I know what the answer is. If it is what I think it is that picture. I contend that he probably fell down on his umbrella, and if that is true, why is he not on his umbrella at this moment? In fact, I can show you right now, because I remember the picture. Hello? There we go. See? He landed on his umbrella when he fell backwards. Why is he now face down and not on his umbrella? Problem here. Clear-cut contradiction. Mr. Wright, why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Oh, come on. If I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's arguments earlier. And what do you mean by that, Miss Fay? Please take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you take another look, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. In fact, it's by the electrical pole.
You're absolutely right, Miss Fay.
The conclusion to draw here, then, is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive.
No! Order! So, you're saying that the victim moved? Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where exactly is it now?
Well, it was collected by the police when they examined the crime scene.
I want to present it as evidence immediately.
Umbrella, owned by the victim, found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene. He probably didn't think it was vital information. Ends up it is. But Your Honor, the umbrella simply could have been blown there by the wind. Oh, but according to the testimony, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind, prosecutor. Well, but...
I know the matter of this umbrella seems relatively trivial. However, as long as the smallest amount of doubt remains, I cannot in good faith render final judgment. No! I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's own testimony.
Phoenix's testimony. The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened.
Ah, well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about?
Oh, pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride this time around. It was foolish of me to think that I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone.
I'm afraid I don't follow.
Let me guess. You have another witness, Mr. Payne. Exactly. And this witness's testimony will prove to be incontrovertible.
Well, who exactly is this witness?
Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? Wait, you don't mean... Dolly?
Oh, I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole mess. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place.
What?
I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Bad news? Oh, you couldn't be more wrong. In fact, I've been waiting for this. Beg pardon? You can't be serious.
Mia, what exactly do you mean by that? Well, I think this is a good enough point for us to stop at. Court will enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the new testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
Okay, I was gonna say, is this like to be continued? And then it's like, oh, I could have continued on and have a long first episode, but that's fine, we're not. We're just gonna have a little break. Yay. I can continue on, it's 30 minutes. I mean, I don't think this break is gonna be obscenely long. Famous last words, cough cough. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened in there. It's alright, Mr. Wright. At least you told us the truth in the end. Yeah. So I guess I can start relaxing then, right?
Relax, my boy! You can't be serious after hiding such important crucial facts!
But the next witness is my dolly, right? I mean, she'll save me. I know she will. And why do you think that? Huh? What do you mean, Miss Faye? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me a bit more about you and, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? Yeah, of course, no problem. Dolly and I, well, we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. Actually, to be honest, I'm studying to be a lawyer. Just as a side thing, really, but anyway, one day, she and I just happened to bump into each other while in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. And as soon as I first laid eyes on her, I knew it. She was the one for me. Oh, and here, take a look at this. She gave me this the day we met, it's saying that it's a symbol of our love. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then, she took it off. But before she gave it to me, she said that she said, I want you to carry this.
Oh, so she gave you a present. I see.
And this darling little bottle is just filled with memories of my darling little dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, alright. Makes me so happy, I can't help but showing it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the whole world. Dahlia's present. Small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day they met. He shows it to everyone. Anyway. So after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating. Yeah, but she's kinda shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now.
Oh, what a strange girl, asking for the present back like that.
By the way, Mr. Wright. The day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Huh? Yeah, it was, Miss Faye. But how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this? A newspaper clipping? Let me see. Murder in the courthouse?
Wait, what are you reading there, Mia? Let me see that. Oh, I see now. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two, am I right?
Newspaper clipping. An article from August 28th, almost 8 months ago. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself.
Ah, yes, of course, but I'm afraid what you have is not going to be enough, my dear. Let me go ahead and have a look at the downstairs reading room. See what else I can dig up.
Thank you, Mr. Grossberg.
I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, looks like recess is just about over. We all better get a move on.
I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. Yep. And we learn that Mia has a personal reason for doing this case. Something happened 8 months ago. A murder. In the courthouse. This is the second murder we've heard of. I mean, the first one with... Yeah, the first one has already happened. It's just like with Gregory Edgeworth. Murder in the courthouse elevator by Manfred von Karma. Now we have another murder. Don't know how it connects. We don't even know what the murder is, except for the article saying that it happened on August 27th. We're definitely going to figure it out at some point, I'm sure, later on in the episode. See you on in the next one, everyone.